Hi guys, hope everyone's well. Thought I'd just have a quick walk around the latest board I'm in the middle of at the minute. This one is its second hot coat stage again, so it's a bit shinier than it's going to be when it finishes, but I think it's quite good for the camera and you get that light reflection. It's good. It allows you to see a bit more of what's gone on in the board. This one's a 6-1 20.5 2.5, and it's pretty much designed for wave from probably shoulder high upwards, and it's designed around a specific twin and stabilizer setup like an MR style. Yeah, it's my second go at colour. I think it's come out really well, so I found some better information on the colour paste I've been using, and the feedback was that you really have to use a high concentration, so I loaded it out a bit more and I got a really good result, so I'm really happy with that. It's also resin pin line. I ended up with a bit of a heavier build on the pin line than I wanted, so I had to sand a little bit of it off. But yeah, I'm really happy with the result. I think the red sets off really well around the blue. The shapes come out really good. Really happy with the foil and the rocker and the rails. Like I say, it's designed for a half decent wave, or you know, maybe depending on the surfer really. But it's, you know, for me and for around here, it's I'd be riding that in shoulder high plus. Yeah, nice foil. Really happy with the tail shape. Managed to get quite a good finish on all the little hips and bumps and curves in and out here and there, which can be quite challenging sometimes. Yeah, on the back we've got the twin and stabilizer setup, so obviously they're a little bit further in from the rail than a normal thruster, and they're a little bit further back to the tail than a normal thruster, and the cluster is a little bit tighter than a normal thruster. That's MR's formula, and I've used it a couple of times, and it's, don't mess with it works good. So, and you know, nice. I put a nice deep concave in. I'll come around and show you, but it's like you definitely starts up here and gets deep. It's just between the fins, so it's quite a quite a deep aggressive single, and then there's a double inside it just between the fins, and then there was a little bit of V, but I've got to be careful with this V. I put a bit of V and it gets a bit of V in the back of the board, and then where you wrap round on these tail tips, and then because you've got so many overlaps in a short space, and you have to make sure you capture everything around these little wings and stuff, it's quite easy to take some of your V out again, so you just really need to be cautious of that when you're going through the process. It'll probably get some V back in it by the time I've fully finished sanding it, but yeah, it's just a little side note. It's something you have to watch pretty much. Yeah, but really pleased with this. Super happy with the color. Like I say, the color saturation is like really nice. There's a couple of patchy spots, but for a second go for a backyard shaper, I'm pretty stoked really. Yeah, I'll try and come through and just show you a bit of the concaves. Not sure how this is going to sit in the camera, so hopefully it's all right, but it's not a big deal. Just give you a bit of an idea that you can achieve half decent concaves as a numpty. Maybe this might be a bit better. So I'm not sure what you can see. I'll just go slow, and then. But yeah, hopefully you can see that all right. So it's a single concave, getting strongest under the front foot, but it carries on right back to the fins, and then it should just break off into a double through the fins here, and then like I say, once I finish we might get a bit of it back, but ideally it's supposed to be some V from the back of this fin here out the tail. Hopefully we'll get some of that back a little bit once we sanded it, but it's not the end of the world. Flat's fine as well, but just give you an idea. Like I say, there's quite a, you know, we've got quite a bit of single concave going in there. You should be able to see that easy enough, and yeah, it's nice to be able to produce those sorts of things that you see on professionally finished boards yourself, and it's not actually super difficult. People quite often ask if concaves are difficult, and I don't find them difficult to replicate well. Doing them really good and really accurately maybe, but yeah, no, making the same sort of thing look the part. It's just positioning them and how you go at it. But like everything, if you plan it out well, you should get a reasonably good result. So yeah, that is this one. Like I say, 6-1, sorry, 20.5, 2.5, nice and thin. We've got a cut lap resin blue on the inlay. So I actually did it backwards. I should have really wrapped the bottom first, but I actually ended up doing just a 4-ounce insert, then cut lapping that, and then doing a 6 on the bottom, lapped over and cut lap, and then a full 6 over the top of everything. So it's kind of a bit of a different way of doing it, but I think it's actually achieved quite a good result, because it meant that I was only dealing with a 4-ounce patch to colour, so I kind of wanted that reassurance to get good saturation, and then it's also made sure that this patch has been really well covered and sealed, and any bits of the cut laps would have been well filled, because it's had another glass layer go all the way over the top of the patch and the lap of the bottom layer. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, sweet. Just watching, guys, and yeah, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. And I keep forgetting to say, but I also do have an Instagram, so if you're interested, especially in the boards that I'm making, or you're like, you know, interested in shaping in general and some of that kind of stuff, Instagram is go_surf_NZ. It's a bit of a complicated one, but it's basically go surf, but go_surf_NZ. And I quite often post these builds as I'm going through them, so if it does interest you, say a lot of people are into the channel more for the reviews of production boards and guides on fins and bits and bobs, but a lot of people, it's a smaller audience, but a lot of people are really stoked on following some of the stuff I'm doing, because they do it themselves or they like to do it, and it's quite a cool little community of, you know, people that didn't understand it or don't understand it, or just inspired to see something a bit different. And yeah, hopefully if it's gives people a bit of information, a bit of fun. Don't claim to be a good shaper by any means. There's a lot of pitfalls and a lot of you know, a lot of areas that I really need a long way to before I'm particularly good. But it's yeah, it's fun, it's interesting. It's been really good to create my own and apply some of the knowledge of all the boards that I've bought and ridden and tried over the years, and try things that I want to try. And you know, I'm really happy with some of the end results, and I think it's something you can be proud of, something that every surfer probably fancies. A lot of surfers would fancy doing, and I would say go for it. It's really rewarding. I was really lucky to have a friend of mine sort of show me the ropes, and we've been helping each other and bouncing stuff off each other ever since. And yeah, he helps me with advice all the time, and it's someone else to bounce things off. So if you've got someone in your community that's into it, and you can tap into them, and if you're really lucky, someone might show you the ropes, and then yeah, then you're away, and you know, you can make your own boards. The materials aren't cheap, and the labor involved is a lot, but it's very rewarding, and it might stop you buying 6 or 7 boards because it takes a lot longer. Cheers, guys. See ya.